Okay. Hello. Welcome to Thursday. Wait, is today's day is today? Is today a weekday? Yeah. Today is Thursday. Um, uh, Tomorrow I am. Let me quick respond this message. Tomorrow I'm giving a talk about visualizing the universe. Um, and it's going to be sort of a hybrid of multiple different talks that I've given in the past. Um, and the basic gist that I need to do is update my talk to talk about my new work with the Advanced Visualization Laboratory. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to use I have I have a workflow for constructing talks out of Kanban boards in Obsidian, um, using some combination of the Advanced Slides plugin, or Slides Extended now, and the Kanban board and whatnot. And I'll walk through how I do that, because some of it's interesting, some of it's not. But I'm going to be taking some different Reveal.js uh, uh, tools that I've built in the past, and then working on bringing them up to the standard that I need for this talk. All right. So, um, all right. Let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to try something different this time. I'm going to put myself in the lower left here. This is my Kanban board, and over here I've got my two different slides open. And the way that I set this up is any of the, what the heck is that? There we go. Oh, hey Rugs, good to see you again. The way that I've got this set up is here. If I do and I think that it only works with the embeds, but maybe it works with all of them. I'm gonna put that Azul, no, AVL team. There we go. So now what I've got set up, there we go. What I've got set up is if I do Kanban to talk, let's see. Things are going okay, I suppose. It's been a bit of a tricky week. Get new template, file template for folder. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, I'll take a look at that in a little bit. All right, so we've got our AVL team. The AVL is a multidisciplinary team built on a history of, and then I'll leave some text blank there. But what I need to do is I need to put my grid in of images. I'll come back to that. The next thing that I'm going to try, and here, let's do, let's grab my, yeah, slides, projects, talks, sequences. I've got a bunch of different sequences in here about storytelling. And I want to, let's take a look. The storytelling triangle is actually the way that I want to motivate this. So let's do, I'm going to start out by talking about the storytelling triangle. Every time I do this, there we go. I actually have to hit enter. So let's pin this one. Yeah, that one's pinned. Click there, and now it should go over there. All right, we can think of three different components. Okay, each of these brings with different needs for narration. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to talk about, it will be recorded, I think. I'll probably put a link to it somewhere. A lot of what I'm going to be talking about is about how we go through the process of deciding how to tell stories about data, and then how we connect with other scientists on telling it. And so I'm going to talk sort of about the storytelling triangle. We'll talk about why we visualize. honestly, I'm more than a little bit nervous about it, just because even though I've talked about visualization a ton of times, and I do it, I teach, I've taught a class on visualization for, I don't know, long time. Um, this time, I'm going to be talking about it from a perspective I haven't really given a talk about before. So that makes me a little bit nervous. Let me go over here. Let's see. Yeah, I shifted some of these slides to use the slides extended, which block type. So let me show this real quick. So inside slides extended, I'll put the link to that extension here in the chat. And then over on the right hand side is a link to the documentation. And I actually wrote up how to do this the way that I'm doing it in my blog. Let me put that here as well. So this is the process that I'm doing it in. Yeah, so here's my templater. Okay. Oh man. Right, talk template. So if I do Alt-N, so create a new file from this talk template, what it actually does is it goes through, it imports all of my slides from the Kanban board, so 1, 2, 3, and then it lets me create my talk. So here, I'm going to do that and then delete current file because I don't really want it right now. All right, so let's sketch out the full talk here. Oh, I don't know why I'm feeling so nervous. I don't have any music on. Let me put some music on. There we go. Been one of those days. One of those weeks, months, who knows. All right. Oh, I've got contents under this. Let's take a look at that. Oh, that's the thing that I initially edited. All right. Let's take a look. Our data stories. All right, I might want to use that one. Definitely have the storytelling triangle, cartoon. I'm not going to do that one. Let's take a look at collaborators. Not sure that I'm going to include that just yet. Let me pull up my, yeah, this is, all right, I'm hot linking to a bunch of images in that, but let's go back over here to the templates. You know what? I feel like I did do a bunch of templates. So let me see if I can grep-r template equals. Okay, find dash name blank slide star. No, let's see, grep template equals. Yeah, so I've got all these blank templates that I was using once upon a time when I was doing this, but let's see, to call 5050, that's the one. Let's see, up here. To call 5050, grep-r, to call 5050. That's the one that I want to find. That's inside my JSON. I don't really need that. Find dash name to call star. Aha! Attachments slide templates. All right, so this is the set of slide templates that I developed. I really need more of these though as time goes on. I'm listening to Socks and Ballerinas. Pretty great album. This is their new album, just came out a while ago. Yeah, you can. You can work with it. So let me, you know what? Let me show a little bit more of this. So if we go here and we do, I'm going to turn this into a talk. One of the neat things that you can do with this example talk, let's see, slides extended, we can do show slide preview, and that'll pop up over here. I'm going to put it over here. Oh, I guess I can't. Wow, I'm getting a lot of windows confused here. Looks like this one isn't quite working. Start slide preview server. Yeah, so you can set it up, and so here this actually is the full slide preview server. So I'm building out my slides here, and that's from the example talk that I built out. I don't know why this isn't quite working. Let me try that again here. Slide preview, show slide preview. Yeah, now it's working. So yeah, you can modify it like that. The way that I'm doing it with the Kanban board is sort of homegrown, and requires executing this multiple times, which I'm pretty annoyed by. So hopefully I'll be able to fix that at some point. Let me see if I can put this back over there. All right. So let's go here to talk about the AVL team, multidisciplinary team. And I'm going to go and say, all right, so we've got the AVL. Now I'm going to say, why do we visualize? Actually, let me change this card. I want this to be just why do we visualize, no question mark. Now make a copy of this file. We'll call this one why do we visualize. All right. And so now I've got this. Actually, I want this to be a link. Okay. So now when I export it, it's going to come over there. Let me pull up my sequences here. And I've got all these different slides that are all already in there that I could use. I need to figure out how to pull them in. So let's see, what is IT? Contents, collaborators. Let's go back up here. And then I'm going to go to classes, IS 445. CD slides. Here we go. This is the one. All right, let's go into why visualize. Let's see. What is a visualization? Artistic representations. Viz examples. Let's see. Who are you visualizing for? That's a really important one. think that's what I'll start with. The main thing that I think I'm struggling with in developing this talk is I have a ton of talks that I've given on this, but generating new ones. Yeah, that's the idea, is that once the initial setup, you can generate them really quickly, and that's kind of what I've done in the past. Where I'm stuck at, honestly, is that I think I need to generate all new ones here, and because yeah. To be candid, part of the reason that I think I'm really getting hung up on this and is that I'm presenting tomorrow to a bunch of astronomers. I got my degree in astronomy, but I haven't done a lot of astronomy lately. And so I've got sort of that, like, who is this guy feeling about myself, like. So I gotta deal with that. But okay. So let's see. Yeah, thank you. Let's try. Um, why do we visualize? You know what? I do know why we visualize. We visualize. I believe it. Yeah. And this is something I'm going to return to during the talk. Basically, we visualize to tell ourselves stories, to tell people stories, to tell stories to ourselves. There we go. And I hope so. And if it doesn't, it'll be over. It's only a half-hour talk. And this is basically it. We tell stories to ourselves, we tell stories to people in our communities, and we tell stories to people we don't know. One thing that might be interesting is that for this particular slide system specifically, the plus sign is a fragment indicator. So using that for the generation of your bullet point list means that they appear one at a time. All right, why do we visualize? Let's see, I've got my audiences here. All right, let's go here, lecture 18. Nope, I already did all of that, so... looks like this was probably classes of visualization, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to copy this sequence. So let's see, cpviz for whatever. Back down to projects, talks, sequences. Okay. All right, so now let's add a candidate slide here of viz for self. And I'm actually going to, let's open that one up and let's rename it. Nope. Because this card is the only one that actually references it, so ah, okay. Now let's see. Let's just go ahead and, you know what? I should be. Let's close this terminal, reopen it. Okay, and this time I'm going to run it inside tmux. All right, let's see, projects, talks, sequences. All right, so we've got viz for public, so let's change that. Viz for experts to visualize for our communities. And then viz for public, visualize for everyone, let's say. Okay. Now I'm going to change this one to tell stories to ourselves, to tell stories to everyone. Okay. Now let's actually I'm actually gonna change this, but we'll put this, stories are important. I will have a different way of displaying that a little bit later. I don't know, maybe we'll talk about empathy machines, but probably not. Alright, so we'll also have a candidate slide of visualize for our communities and visualize for everyone. Okay. So the other thing that I want to try to find here, let's open a web viewer. I'm going to go to ytproject.github.io, YT 4.0 paper. In this, I've got, I want to say that there's an example of a volume rendering. So let me see if I can find that. And if I can, I'm going to use it in this. I could use that. Ooh, that doesn't seem to work anymore. That's not good. I'll have to check that in a different browser. Does this one work? Nope. I think that's just because Paper.js is maybe not working inside this browser. Okay. close that down. Let's go to AVL team. Let me come up with the images for this. So this is the home page for my group. So let's see. So actually, I can probably just copy all of these individually. Copy image link. All right, and now what I'll do is let's open up my template for the DXL team. And what I'll do is I'll copy the format there and put it all in. How many people are in this one? About the right number. Okay. 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 So let's just grab our images, put them above each one of these. It just so happens there are 6, so that's perfect. Okay. Okay, Donna Cox. All right, let's see how this looks once I've managed to convert all of these. Okay, so this is kind of a frustrating little thing. Let's see, this is Stuart Levy. So what I'm doing here is I am taking all of my old images and I'm swapping them out for new ones because I'm going to be promoting a different group than I did before. But that also still lets me do the other stuff. Oh my goodness. Remove the space. What? Wow. How do I? Let's see. No, I'm not going to warn. Let's just go ahead and. There we go. Okay. one, I'm kind of torn about putting my own name in, but I guess that's... All right, so let's see. We've got the AVL team. Now let's see how this looks. Talk template. Show slide preview. All right, looks all right. I gotta fix this storytelling triangle stuff though. It's the size is all wrong. Well, I'll get back to that. Okay. Okay. All right, now let's move to visualize for ourselves, visualize for our communities, visualize for everyone. Let's get rid of this. And I'm going to simplify this this slide specifically. So it is to talk about how we visualize data. Are you writing any essays nowadays, Ruggs? Let's see, visualize for our communities. What's this one? I'm going to change everywhere it says. You can build on what you know about them. And here, let's change all these dashes to... Nope, I just want to change these. That dash to a plus. Okay. I want to get across that this is a thing that we do. Let's see. Oh, how's the MCU programming going? I think last time you shared, you were, oh, I'm trying to remember. You've been doing some really cool stuff with it, as I recall. Now, I don't think I want any of these. Now, this is the one, I gotta revisit this particular thing, but let's go on to visualization for everyone. Yeah, yeah. 4 classes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a lot. Well, hopefully it'll ease up a little bit for you soon enough. What I want to get across with the visualizing for everybody is that that's the type where we don't necessarily know how they're going to interpret the data. So let's go back here. I'm going to get rid of this because this one, let's talk about different types of story. All right, I already got this one. I do want to add AJ and Kalina to it. Yeah, 4 classes sure is a lot. Okay. Okay. How does AVL tell a story? Oh, nice. Yeah. Um, Here, let's bring this on in here. Let's delete the card. Let's add a new card here. What do we want from visualization? I'm going to put notes up here for what we want to inform. We want to share knowledge. We want to empower, excite. Okay. It is for my job, yeah. So I'm a faculty member, but one big part of my job is running the visualization lab at our supercomputer center. And so I'm presenting about what our lab does. And this is my first time presenting about this lab since I got this this role and responsibility. Uh, and so, in some sense, it's higher stakes than normally it would be. Uh, okay. So let's see. So I can't use as much as I've used in the past. All right, let's go back here. No, let's get rid of that one. Let's go to the AVL team. Building multidisciplinary Renaissance team. Building on decades of experience, telling compelling, informative, and gotta have the rule of three, so you need a third thing. Compelling, informative, and awe-inspiring stories through data visualization. I also can't use a lot of the samples, the examples that I normally would, because they're going to be showing them in a little theater area across the way. So anybody that would see them here, they would see them better just across the way. All right, I think I need a new album at this point because I've already heard this one. Boy, this talk is really killing me. My resistance to just utilizing existing slides, I think, is what's really killing me. All right, let's listen to some John Carpenter. See, the thing is, yeah, I mean, that's true. My background is as an astrophysicist. That's what I got my PhD in. That's what I did all my jobs up until this point. But it makes me extra nervous. I was always nervous talking to them, but now it's extra nervous because there's that layer of like, it's been a while since I was a publishing astrophysicist, and so now it's like, oh, I'm just, some guy, some imposter. But, you know, I guess the real message from that is that sometimes feelings like that never really go away, and so you got to push through them. All right, let's see. How does AVL tell a story? Really, that's who does the vision come from? Now let's see. What's our process? Data ingestion, exploration, iteration. Now, I think the other thing that I need to get back to with all of this is that I should talk about what formats data comes in, because that varies things considerably. And that's something that might be of interest to these folks. And it's like a cool little sequence that I've got. So why don't I do that? Let's see, what's my volume grammar look like? Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Let's take a look at what this looks like. In fact, I'm going to move that to a new window. I need to change that. This should actually be that one. Okay. Gonna get rid of that. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to be excited about it instead of just nervous. Oh, thank you. Did I get that equation right? No, check that out. Oh, look at that. That underscore is wrong. Gotta fix it. That size is bad. All right, I'm gonna put this all under the, yeah, so this is all sort of the pre-AVL stuff. So let's go over here, let's delete this file. Okay, so fig container, let's take a look there. Okay, so let's see, we want the volume grammar selection. Move brush. So that's moving the brush. That's not the one that I want though. G bar chart transition, duration 0. Let's try that. Oops. Okay, talk template. slide preview. Whoa. Oh, right, because that's the wrong one. Show slide preview. Okay. Let's move this to its own new window. Gotta fix this nonsense with my name being all capitalized. I wonder if I can make those two things happen simultaneously. Oh, check that out. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot faster. Okay, so let's see if I can do set the duration of KH selection to 0. Let's push my figure repository up. That's the one that gets used in all my talks. All right. Now the other change I wanted to make, KH. No, it's not KH actually. It's the transformation. Let's see, can I make this one setup? No. Create velocity. Alright, so that selects the velocity X, GX1 clone, transition. That's the velocity magnitude. Okay, so it is transforming them in sequence. I must have done that on purpose. I don't need to revisit that right now. Let's move some of this down. In fact, maybe I should make this a broader discussion. So let's go here. Let's delete current file. Close this down. DXL senior folks. So some of these people are no longer around. So let me make a copy of this. And we'll call this DXL senior folks spring 2025. Thank you. Have a good time at class. I hope it goes all right. So we've got this. It's starting to come into view in my head a little bit better. Starting to realize that I can make a good story if I talk about the two main ways that I'm involved in data visualization, through AVL and through DXL, and really unifying the two halves of that story. Yeah. So I think it's starting to come into view, but I think I need a mental break. It's been about an hour. I need a mental break from this so that I can, and also to work on some other stuff. Feeling good about the way that I've got this set up to bring things in and out, though. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to conclude for now, and I'll probably be back later.